Without cops, who would jeopardize the lives of everybody in this convenience store parking lot while speeding down the road without lights and sirens? Check this out. Now we're going to see a different view of this truck right here. We're going to watch the owner of this truck try to get into his truck and how he narrowly escaped with his life. And we're going to see that, here we go right here. Watch this. The first police car, no lights, no sirens. Check that out. Speeding down the road. The second guy's going to come. This guy's going to pull out after having come to a complete stop at this stop sign right here. The second cop is going to come up, veer off, hit that truck, narrowly miss that guy. No lights, no sirens on a supposed emergency call. Here's another angle. First cop car, no lights and sirens. Second cop car loses control. Unbelievable.
You can see the crash unfold outside the Goldmine General Store in Catawba County. Surveillance video clearly shows the moment the deputy lost control of his SUV while trying to avoid a pickup truck pulling out from the Dollar General across the street. Elmer Evans heard about the crash and watched the video of that deputy strike 3 parked cars while narrowly missing a customer.
He done all he can do to keep from, in my opinion, to keep from killing anybody. But the other car pulled out in front of him. It was, in my opinion, it's not his fault.
A viewer shared these photos of the damage to the deputy's SUV.
Well, he probably pulled out in front of him because he didn't hear any sirens and he didn't see any lights. The whole reason for the lights and sirens is to alert everybody else in the area, hey, you better watch out on the road. We're coming through and we're on an emergency.
This says he was responding to a 911 hang-up call and that it's always up to a deputy and his or her supervisor whether to activate blue lights and sirens.
At least 20 times.
Amanda Wright's family has property right across the street. She says her mailbox has been knocked down more than a dozen times by wrecks along the busy road. She believes deputies should use their blue lights if they're traveling well above the 45-mile-per-hour posted speed limit here. At the intersection today, we spotted first responders doing just that while heading to calls.
You need to go that fast. You need to at least have sirens, lights, something to show everybody around you what's happening.
Yeah, it's kind of like common sense. And without cops, who would think that they have the right to slash your tires?
Man shares what happened before getting the tires on his slingshot motorcycle slashed at the Puerto Rican Fest.
Yeah, the incident captured on cell phone video, and a now demoted Chicago police deputy chief and an officer are relieved of their powers following the alleged occurrence. WGN's Christine Flores has the story.
It was a deputy chief of the Chicago Police Department in Chicago's Area 5.
Good evening. 20-year-old Juventino Cortesano says the tires to his 2 slingshots were slashed during that incident, leaving him with a bill of about $1,000, all of it captured on video.
Hey, why you have popping our tires? I was confused because, why did Chicago police have to do that, that none of that was necessary.
Juventino Cortesano is recalling what he walked up to on June 7th in Humboldt Park during the Puerto Rican festivities when the tires to both of his slingshot motorcycles were slashed.
And then I get a phone call saying that, hey, Tino, they're popping our tires. The towing's about to take it, so, come check it out real quick.
Cortesano acknowledges his vehicles were parked illegally in an alley for which he was cited.
As I start walking back is when I start seeing the towing start taking all the cars, not just mine. There was a bunch of vehicles in that alleyway,
But he was also faced with slashed tires, making his vehicles inoperable.
From my perspective, I say it was out of rage, because I don't know if you know, but what's it called? There happened to have a shooting happen during that moment, and I guess they thought everybody in the alleyway was a part of it.
Cell phone video captures the moment a CPD officer appears.
Look at that, just a blight to society. Not serving and protecting. Who goes around slashing tires?
Take a knife to one of Cortesano's tires.
On top of that, I had to pay for the impound, I had to pay for the towing, I had to pay for the tickets, I had to pay to get all those right size of the tires. I had to call different shops because they didn't have 3 for each one.
On Thursday, Chicago police announced the arrest of 53-year-old Deputy Chief Roberto Nieves and 26-year-old Officer Jacob Geis. Nieves was demoted to the rank of captain and charged with 1 count of misdemeanor criminal damage of property worth less.
Just demoted. That's all it is. Demoted. Doesn't lose his job. He just gets demoted. Probably keeps the same pay. He'll probably be promoted next year.
less than $500. Guys was charged with 2 counts of the same. Both surrendered for arrest at the 1st District Police Station. CPD has not provided details of the incident or what damage both allegedly caused.
Obviously, it turned out to be a bigger case than from what I expected.
Cortesano says his next step is to contact a lawyer to see what his options are. Reporting in Elgin.
He's a deputy police chief. We're going to take a closer look at this deputy police chief in this right here. But I just want to say, if you worked for a company that didn't have anything to do with anything, and that company found out that you slashed somebody in the neighborhood's tires, you would probably be fired, even if what you did is unrelated to the company that you work for, because it just looks bad. Now imagine having a job where you're supposed to be serving and protecting and upholding the law and safeguarding property and people and property rights, and then you do the exact opposite of what your job entails.
Members are calling for more accountability for police officers charged with slashing tires of a private citizen's car.
Now, those officers, one a deputy chief of police, are now facing misdemeanor property damage charges.
Paris Judge says more on the political fallout. Paris?
Well, Terrence, some Humboldt Park area public officials...
think about that. Police officers slashing tires. It just doesn't even sound right. Or does it?
Want the Chicago Police Department to take stronger action against former Deputy Chief Roberto Nieves for allegedly slashing the tires of a civilian's car while in uniform. CPD says both officers...
how can it be allegedly or reportedly when you got it on video?
Have been stripped of police powers for now. Deputy Chief Nieves has been demoted to his previous rank of captain in connection with the incident that occurred June 7th during the Puerto Rican Day Parade in Humboldt Park. The Nieves turned himself into authorities yesterday. Alderwoman Jessie Fuentes says she's calling on more action from CPD. She wants Nieves moved out of that district altogether and away from the neighborhood.
I'm calling for removal of his position in Area 3, right? I think that it would be extremely harmful to have him return in service in the same community area in which he has caused harm.
That's common sense. Who wants a cop in the neighborhood who could potentially slash your tires? I don't want that in my neighborhood.
We have to understand that someone in that leadership position, along with a young 26-year-old police officer, he had a moral obligation to be a leader, set an example, and he did it. His actions were unprofessional and extremely...
And all crap flows downhill. A stream can rise no higher than its source. If the deputy chief did that, how can you expect the underlings not to do that same action? And what else are they doing? Because they were turning off body cams and dash cams so that they could commit their crimes. What else have they done? This whole thing needs to be investigated. I don't think this is a one-off.
To our community.
Now, Alderman Fuentes stopped short of calling for Superintendent Larry Snelling to recommend Nieves' firing, says she might have that conversation pending the results of the investigation. Fuentes says she doesn't know why Nieves allegedly slashed this resident's tires. Both Nieves and 26-year-old police officer Jacob Geis face misdemeanor charges of damage to property. Now, Nieves was demoted yesterday, the same day he turned himself into authorities. Terrence?
That's just absolute BS. Cops out there who's supposed to be protecting property, protecting your rights, protecting property rights, and this a-hole's out there slashing tires. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook, also at High Impact Flicks. Grab a shirt, become a channel member, but more importantly, understand that in times of universal deceit, telling the truth and calling out cops is a revolutionary act. I will see you in the next video.